with HealthNet. Okay, now I see the little sign there. Okay, great. And then Kristen Kayla, health promotion consultant with HealthNet, also on the line. Just a few of the housekeeping items I review each time we have a webinar. Everybody has been muted upon entry. That's going to help us avoid any of the background noise. At the end of the webinar, there is a short anonymous survey, so your feedback is greatly appreciated. If you have any questions during the webinar, go ahead and use the chat function and chat directly to Kristen. And everybody who registered, regardless if you could attend today, will receive a link to the recording in just a few days. Today's topic is Live Long, Live Better. We are going to uncover the secrets to healthy aging. I do have quite a few slides and some polls today. So if I go over by a few minutes, feel free, if you need to exit the webinar, feel free to do that. Everything will be included in the recording link. But please keep in mind, the information provided in this presentation is intended solely for the general information of the audience. It's not medical advice and shall not replace a consultation with your physician or other qualified health provider. If you have any health-related questions or problems, please seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider. So this is what I'm going to be covering today. We're going to explore the art of feeling young at heart. I'm going to be emphasizing the crucial role of movement, fostering healthy eating habits, and keeping our minds sharp and engaged. And I'll be talking about preventative health measures. Also, the transformative power of finding joy in good works. And this session hopefully will inspire you to embrace a holistic approach to aging gracefully and living your best life. Here is a poll. Let me go ahead and launch this. Poor health is a fact of aging. So let me go ahead and launch that. Put it up on my screen here. These are, of course, fun to do. You are not required to do them, but it would be fun to just see what everybody says. Give a couple more seconds on this one. Poor health is a fact of aging. All right. And let me go ahead in the poll, and I'm going to go ahead and share these results. So 80% of you today have the correct answer. That would be false. So researchers have found that people who maintain good health habits throughout midlife and beyond, things such as not smoking or keeping their weight in control, exercising regularly, they not only live longer, but they also postpone even minimal disability by almost a decade compared to those with poor health habits. All right. Close that one off. All right. Okay, here's another one. Older people can learn new things. Is that going to be true or false? Let me go back to this one. All right. What do you think? You can teach an old dog new tricks. All right, just a couple more seconds on this one as well. Thought it would be fun to do these today. I'm going to go ahead and end it and share the results. 97% of you got that correct. Absolutely. Research shows now the pace of learning and the conditions for successful learning. Now, that may be different in older adults versus younger people, but as we get older, we learn better with fewer distractions. So we need to kind of prioritize and focus more on one thing at a time on that. Okay, well, great. Close this off. Okay, one more. Older people are miserable. All right. Let me launch that one. What do you think on that? True or false? Older people are miserable. Get started out today on the right foot. All right. 86% of you are correct. That is false. Studies show that in terms of emotion, our best years come late in life. We are more emotionally balanced and we're better able to solve emotional problems. So that was a good one, guys. All right. Now, nobody looks forward to getting older, right? In America, we are youth focused, but in other countries, older people feel more respected and beloved for their wisdom and contributions. Our ideas about getting old, you know what? They're old. In fact, our life expectancy has increased. In 20 years, there will be more Americans over the age of 60 than under the age of 15. And scientific advances have led to a longer life expectancy. So what does that mean? That means we need to ensure we've got good health during our whole lifespan. Now, scientists who study aging have made remarkable discoveries that most of the changes commonly associated with older people, they're actually not dependent on the passage of time. It's rather the result of the way we've treated our bodies and our minds. Now, of course, genetics are going to play a role, but the scientists tell us that 70% of the characteristics of aging are based on the choices that we make every day, our personal lifestyle choices. Now, the trick is to shift our focus from staying young to aging with good health and vitality. And our attitude and our sense of control over our lives, that's a key. That plays a key in determining whether we just add years to our life or if we add life to those years. Well, what types of lifestyle behaviors are going to add years to our life or life to our years? Regular physical activity, our social connections, being resilient, our mental stimulation, a healthy sexuality, being productive, healthy eating, not smoking, getting regular checkups, and also caring for others. So you should think about and visualize, how do you want to be in your older years? Let's talk about movement. The next poll. As we get older, we should limit our physical activities because they could become too taxing on our bodies. Let me launch this. All right, what do you think about that one? As we get older, we should limit our physical activities. That's because they could become too taxing on our bodies as we age. All right, a couple more seconds on this one. Good job. All right, that is correct. 93% of you is false. So a decline in our physical fitness, that's actually not a result of aging. It's because many frail older adults, they actually got that way because they stopped exercising. So many long-term or chronic health conditions, they're actually made worse by the lack of physical activity. So even if you haven't been active, it's not too late to start. You may want to check with your healthcare provider, but start slowly and build up gradually. Yeah. Right. Okay, to do strength training, you need a set of dumbbells. Is that going to be true or false on that one? To do strength training correctly, you need a set of dumbbells. Kristen, we've got a bunch of smarty pants in the audience today.
We sure do, Laura.
Yeah, we always do. All right, so that is correct. 92% of you, that is false. The answer is false. So a set of dumbbells, well, that's nice to have, but you can always substitute other items like, for instance, gallon water jugs, cans of food, any other maybe household items or stretch bands, things like that. So for many strength exercises, think of things like leg extensions or heel raises. You simply can use the weight of your own body as the resistance. All right. An older person's exercise program should include activities that develop flexibility, balance, strength training, and endurance. Let me launch this one. What do you think about that? Should that be included? Older person's exercise program. Should it include flexibility, balance, strength training, and endurance? True or false on that? All right. Good job, everybody. That answer is true. So these are the core parts of any good exercise program, no matter what age you are. So flexibility exercises, of course, help you maintain your range of motion. As you age, your muscles tend to lose their elasticity, and those tissues around the joints, they can get thick. So exercises that counteract this also help to slow down the development of arthritis. Now, strength training, that's going to help with the loss of your muscle tissue, that which occurs as we age, also helps prevent back problems. Think about aerobic activity. That's going to boost your heart and your lungs and your blood vessels, give you some additional energy. Weight bearing aerobic exercise, that's going to help stimulate bone growth and make your bones healthier. And also any type of exercises that will help improve your balance, that will of course help reduce your chances of falling. You don't want that. All right. So exercise, as we know, is vital for both the young and especially crucial for our older adults. The National Institute of Aging suggests that if that was a pill, it would be the most prescribed medicine in the country. Now, many age-related issues, things like weight gain or brittle bones, can result from inactivity. So staying physically active, that's going to enhance your energy levels. It also helps reduce stress, and it prepares you for the daily challenges. If you're already leading an active lifestyle, that is fantastic. Keep it up. If you recognize the need to be a little bit more active, but you struggle to find the time in your busy day, keep in mind that engaging in about 30 minutes of moderate intensity activity, about 5 days a week, so most days of the week, that's going to offer significant health benefits. One of the simplest ones and the most adaptable is a walking program. It actually has high rates of success, and it's pretty easy to incorporate into your routine. Even you can break it up into smaller blocks of time. You can't find a 30-minute block, do 2 15-minute walks or 3 10-minute walks. It's all good. Now, this is a short list of the benefits of exercise. As we age, it's important to keep that muscle mass, also providing stability for our joints. And the weight-bearing exercise, that helps with our bone density and helps prevent osteoporosis. And we need, of course, flexibility so that we can reach and bend and lift in safe ways. Also, we tend to sleep better when we exercise, and it also has a positive effect on the HDL cholesterol. That is your good cholesterol. And exercise burns fat, helps us maintain our body composition in a healthy range. Also, it releases those endorphins. Those are the happy brain chemicals to help fight anxiety and stress. Now, current research indicates that excessive sitting is contributing to declining health, but a significant portion of our waking hours is spent sitting while we're eating, driving, watching TV, we're using a computer, we're talking on our phones. So, to counteract prolonged periods of sitting, aim to take some frequent breaks. Simply stand up and move around. Now, strength training is crucial for everybody, but it becomes even more vital as we age. From around the age 35, we start to experience gradual loss, about 10% of our lean muscle mass per decade. This decline goes to about 15% about after age 45, and then it reaches about 30% by the time we turn 80. Now, the loss of muscle, this can actually remain unnoticed for years because as we age, our bodies are going to compensate. And what do? They add fat to that affected area. But since fat is lighter than muscle, we may maintain the same weight on the scale while we're undergoing muscle loss. Now, when we lose muscle mass, what else happens? Well, it affects our strength, our bone density, our balance, and our quality of life. Strength training can benefit your bones, muscle, and the balance. Also, strength training increases what they call your resting metabolism. That means while you're going to burn more calories all day long, even while you're sleeping and at rest, your body will burn more calories, the more muscle you have. Remember, it's never too late to start. Exercise will help you get through these 3 life segments with your health, strength, and energy. Now, the researchers at Tufts University developed this guideline. If you're in your 30s and your 40s, you want to maximize what you have. By exercising regularly, you can enjoy those weekend activities without injury. Between 40 to 45, this is when you're going to start to lose bone and muscle, especially after age 50 and older. And women going through menopause, you want to make sure to minimize that muscle and bone loss at that time by doing some strength training. In your 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, of course, you want to maintain your vitality, your self-confidence, and your independence for as long as possible with a regular exercise program that includes strength training. But what types of activities constitute strength training? Well, if you already belong to a gym or if you're going to a recreation center, there may be specific classes for you. Personal trainers may be able to help craft an exercise and a strength training program that's designed for your needs. Also, you can look for strength training videos on apps. Just make sure they've got certified instructors in case you want to work out at home. Now, I put a couple of descriptions here. Think of classes with these types of descriptions. Think of exercises that use your body weight and provide resistance. Let's talk about nutrition. All right. Whoops. Let's see what I got here. All right. Another poll. So, healthy fats in moderation can help your body what? Is it A, B, or C on this one? Absorb vitamins and minerals, build muscle mass, or stock up on vitamin C. Couple more seconds on this one. Again, these polls are always optional. You are not required to do them, but it's kind of fun. All right, let's see what we got. 58% of you got it correct. Those the healthy fats help us absorb vitamins and minerals. So think of foods like nuts or fatty fish, which are going to be good in mono and polyunsaturated fats. Those are the heart healthy fats, and they can help your body take in key nutrients. Nuts are calorically dense, so you just want to watch the portion on that. Okay, let's see what this one is. All right, if you have a sensitivity to dairy foods, you can get your calcium in by eating which groups of these foods? Let me launch this. All right. Whoops, let's see. There should be a fourth choice on there. So whole grains and fiber, avocados, apples, and artichokes. Is it spinach, white beans, salmon, and sardines, or olive oil and other healthy fats? So if you have a sensitivity to dairy, how can you get more calcium in your diet? All right. You guys are doing great. You're doing great. All right. 71% of you got the right answer. That is C. That's going to be the spinach, white beans, salmon, and sardines. Those are all good amounts of calcium in those foods. Sorry about that. I had skipped that last one there. All right. Okay, a true or false. As you get older, you're the less likely you are to have food intolerance. So let's see what this one is. Go ahead and launch that. Is that true or false? As you get older, the less likely you are to have food intolerance. All right, good job, good job. Everybody's doing great. 78% of you got that correct. Our bodies often become less tolerant of certain foods as we age. What is the best eating plan? Okay, so let me see this one. I think it's 4 of these. All right, what is the best eating plan for older adults who want to maintain a healthy weight? What should we be eating? All right, high protein, low carb, a balanced diet, very low carb, low calorie diet, or high carb, low fat. What's the best eating plan for older people who want to maintain a healthy weight? All right. 70% of you got that correct. That would be answer B, a balanced diet such as the Mediterranean diet. So you want to achieve and maintain a healthy weight, of course, practicing moderation and enjoying all the different categories of food. Right. Right along. All right, we want to eat from the rainbow no matter what age we are. So think of the different colors in these foods as I read them off. Think of sweet potatoes, other vegetables and fruit that are going to be yellow, orange, or red. Think of legumes, beans, split peas, lentils, broccoli, and other types of vegetables, zucchini, everything, bell peppers, whole grains, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, olive berries. Think of all the different colors, garlic and onions. Think of walnuts and other nuts and seeds, sunflower seeds, cashews, hazelnuts. Think of salmon and other fatty fish, oranges and other citrus fruits, lime, lemon, grapefruits. and spinach with other different types of green leafy vegetables, kale, and all kinds of romaine lettuce, all kinds of things. So eating these healthy foods can be satisfying. And what does it do? It helps us to avoid eating those unhealthy foods that are loaded with sugar and salt. Exercise plus the nutritious diet, well, those are the cornerstones of healthy aging. And in recent years, researchers have discovered that we have a unique nutritional requirements as we get older. With age, the need for calories goes down, but the need for nutrients goes up. So we need to concentrate on having things like an adequate intake of fluids, fiber, healthy fats, calcium, and adequate protein. Now, many older Americans, they don't get enough of a couple of different vitamins. Vitamin B6, B12, and folic acid. Now, this could be because of maybe there's a lack of a variety of foods in their diet, or maybe it's lack of interest in eating or socioeconomic status. But those vitamins, they have been shown to increase mental deficiencies such as memory loss and disorientation in people with very low levels of those vitamins. So we want to eat foods like lentils, other legumes, things like nuts, bananas, vegetables, and foods that are fortified with these vitamins, things like bread, cereal, and even supplementation with a multivitamin. But of course, always check with your healthcare provider when you're considering a supplement. You want to watch out for saturated fats. Those are things that are found in the animal products, and trans fats. Those are found in foods we really like to eat, things like fried fast food and baked goods. But you also want to include the good fats in our diet. So you think of things like avocado, nuts, salmon, tuna, plant oils such as olive and canola oil. And keeping your bones strong by including calcium in the diet and doing a weight-bearing exercises. So now calcium-rich foods, think of dairy products. You want to choose low or no fat. Think of almonds, kale, broccoli, and even calcium-fortified foods such as orange juice. You just have to look on the label and make sure it's calcium fortified. Vitamin D. That's another vitamin that many older adults need more of. Now, this helps to absorb calcium, and evidence shows that it helps reduce the risk of certain diseases. Vitamin D is the sunshine vitamin. So just being in the sunlight 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, that allows your body to produce its own vitamin D. However, we're supposed to be wearing sunscreen, that of course is going to reduce your risk for skin cancer, but that actually blocks the ultraviolet rays needed to produce vitamin D. But you can get it in fatty fish and vitamin D fortified milk and cereals. Again, check with your doctor to see if supplementation is needed. Eating a variety of whole foods that are associated with the Mediterranean diet, things like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, nuts, seeds, olive oil, avocados, herbs, and spices. What about our brain? Healthy aging with our brain. As we age, many of us will fear losing our memory. If we forget the word, I do that all the time now. I tell my family, don't tell me, it'll come to me. But I forget the word. Or sometimes if we forget the car keys, oh my gosh, we start to wonder, is this the onset of dementia or Alzheimer's? The good news is that current estimates are that only about 10% of all elderly people, we're talking ages 65 to 100 or more, will get Alzheimer's. We now have advances in brain imaging, and that helps us so that we can know earlier. So the imaging will help us to indicate whether that age-related brain loss, really, it's not as severe as we once thought. Now, we continue to flourish in our 80s and 90s. Of course, there are certainly some changes that occur, but actually, like I talked about before, much of it has to do with the way we have mistreated our body. Now, we have both short term and long term memory. The word registering focuses on coding the experiences that we have, such as name, place, and time, into our short term memory. Retaining this information involves rehearsing it so we can get it into our long term memory. And of course, retrieval involves being able to recall and recognize that information. Now, when I'm in tap dance class, I'm telling you, I have a hard time remembering the names of the students. And sometimes we get new students. So I've come up with this way to remember their names. When I see Wendy, I think of Peter Pan. When I see Monica, I think of Friends. And then, when we have new students, which happens all the time, I use the same method. Julie Andrews just recently joined the class. It turns out that researchers say our memories are really connections between nerve cells. Excuse me. Two things help to make these connections happen. One, if something has emotional significance. And two, if it relates to something you already know. There you go. So I know about the show Friends and I know about Sound of Music. Those things help me make those connections so that I can remember the names of the people in my tap class. Now, age seems to affect the part of memory that enables you to do more than one thing at a time. Studies show that older people are more distractible. They're less able to filter out outside stimuli and less able to juggle two or more tasks that can be easily managed at a younger age. So as we get older, absorbing complex new information may take more time, but our vocabulary and accumulated wisdom does not fade away. And you want to watch out for the things that do affect our memory in a negative way. This is just a short list that's on the right side of the slide. All of these can be positively influenced by a healthy lifestyle. Now, UCLA scientists suggest some ways to make and strengthen brain connection. Play games, challenging games, Scrabble, bridge, crossword puzzles, jigsaw puzzles. Try a musical instrument. As soon as you make the decision to take up a musical instrument, your brain has a whole new group of muscle control problems to solve. The brain must correlate notes on the paper with our fingers to create the tones. Fix something. Learn to repair things you've never repaired before. The actual repair is not really the most important thing. It's the challenge of doing something new. And you could always try the arts. Like, for instance, if your verbal skills are really good, try getting a set of watercolors, taking an art class. If your mechanical skills are good, try taking a writing class. Also, surround yourself with interesting and intelligent people. Talk about current events, books, movies, anything that stimulates your brain and your thinking. Social connection. All right, here's another poll. All right, which of the following are risk factors for depression? Launch this one. Here we go. What do you think it is? Health or financial problems, difficulty with stress, a family history of depression, or all of these things have an impact? What are risk factors for depression? All right. Yep, you got this one. 99% of you said all of the above. That is correct. Depression is a genuine health problem that can be treated successfully with the expertise of a professional. social connection. So our social connections have a powerful positive influence on our health, and it can reduce some of the negative health related aspects of aging. However, the opposite is also true. If when we get older, if we have social isolation, that is a risk factor for poor health. There's a lot of studies with findings that point to people who have friends that they can turn to, things for like affirmation, empathy, advice, assistance, affection. They're actually more likely to survive health challenges like a heart attack and develop less likely to develop some diseases. However, those who feel lonely and isolated have a 20 to 50% higher rate of premature death from virtually all causes when compared to those who have a sense of community and a connection with others. A study done at the Harvard School of Public Health showed that engaged, socially active lifestyles slow down mental decline. And it can be any kind of social connection. A spouse or a family member or friends all had protective value when it comes to preventing mental decline. And when I talk about social support, I'm referring to emotional support, things like caring and concern, that you're valued and loved, that you have a sense of purpose, meaning, and belonging. Intellectual support, that you have access to information, advice, and guidance from others. And instrumental support. This includes things like physical assistance, such as transportation, money, and maybe help with daily activities and chores. All right, which statement best reflects, one more, yeah, best reflects the benefits of volunteering? Go ahead, launch this one. All right, what do you think? Volunteering for older adults. Which one reflects the benefits of volunteering? It can lead to social isolation and loneliness, enhances cognitive function, benefits younger individuals, no significant impact on older adults, often leads to decreased physical activity and health deterioration. All right, what do you think the answer is to this one? Right? 95% of you got it correct. That was B. Enhances cognitive function and reduces the risk of cognitive decline. This has been supported by numerous studies that social interaction, mental stimulation, and a sense of purpose associated with volunteering contribute to these benefits. Okay. All right. Name one potential advantage of older adults engaging in volunteer work. Make sure I got one of these here. All right. Increased financial gain, higher likelihood of experience health-related issues, enhanced purpose, sense of purpose and fulfillment, or decreased opportunities for social interaction and networking. So the advantages of older adults volunteering. All right, you guys got this one. Yep, 100% of you. C, that was enhanced sense of purpose and fulfillment. Volunteering often provides older individuals with a sense of purpose and a fulfillment as they contribute to their communities and make a positive impact on others' lives. This sense of purpose can lead to increased satisfaction with life and overall well-being. All right. When we volunteer or we help others, we do feel a deeper sense of self-worth. It increases our self-esteem, and this is an excellent buffer against stress and negativity. And when we show kindness to others through doing good, we feel good and we want to continue to do it. It can be as simple as holding the door for someone, or just a smile, or paying for the person behind you in the drive-through. You can also commit to volunteering for programs and organizations that are important to you. Now, this past school year, September through May, I was an mentor for a fifth grade student in the state of Washington. We exchanged letters on the different units that he was covering in school. It was really great. I helped him with writing and vocabulary and sharing his thoughts and ideas. It turns out that students who have mentors tend to do better in reading and writing. The commitment, my time commitment was really minimal. And boy, oh my gosh, I learned a lot. I guess I just was sick in school when they covered some of these subjects. Anyway, it was fascinating. I really enjoyed it. So, volunteering for maybe your children or your grandchildren's school, local political campaigns, groups for charitable organizations, anything that puts you together, joins you with like minded individuals that are committed to a common cause. Oh my gosh, there are countless programs, organizations, and causes that could benefit from your time, your talent, and your resources. Just join a group that has a devotion to something that has a greater purpose outside of you. Research indicates that dedication to a greater purpose, as much as to other people, is what produces that greatest sense of fulfillment. Preventative health, aging well, preventative health. So, health plans will have their preventative screening guidelines. Now, these provide suggested and recommended screenings for their members. It's recommended that you discuss these guidelines with your doctor. As individual physicians may have different recommendations for certain patients with health risks or your individual needs. It's especially true if you have maybe like a family history of any diseases. In many cases, more frequent monitoring and additional screenings may be necessary. Now, screening tests, of course, allow you to spot disease and illnesses before symptoms appear. Early detection gives you the opportunity for treatment before disease process is irreversible or damaging. And a word on medications. So many of us may end up taking a variety of medications that help us live longer and healthier. If you are starting a new medication, make sure your doctor knows what medications you're currently taking. This would include over-the-counter medications, any vitamins or supplements, and also find out if you need to stop any of your current medications while you are on this new medication. And it's always a good idea to find out from your doctor what is the name of the medication and make sure you know why you are taking it. Also, when will the medication start working, and how will you know if it's working, and or will there be any side effects, and what you should do if you experience any serious side effects, and what to do if you want to stop taking the medication. Some medications can be stopped abruptly, others cannot. And also, when you fill the prescription, check with the pharmacist because they can guide you on how best to take the medication. I don't know about you, but I tend to toss that information that comes with the medication, but that's not such a good idea. This information can help you avoid serious side effects, like maybe this medication needs to be taken with food, or you need to avoid alcohol while on this medication, or some medications require refrigeration. Again, you should talk with your doctor. You may need to adjust the time that you take your medication, especially if you're going to be traveling to a different time zone. Also, make sure you have enough to get you through your vacation and a little extra just in case. Also, if you happen to be flying, make sure to carry your medications with you. Don't pack them in your luggage. Also, follow the instructions for taking the medication. Make sure you take it on time. You can either set a reminder on your phone or tie it to a routine that you already do. Maybe it's something you take first thing in the morning or at bedtime. I personally use a pill box for my medication. And of course, you always want to check with your doctor before stopping any medication. Thank you for your attention today. For those who need to drop, I'm right at time. I'm going to cover these last slides on programs that are for HealthNet members. So we have, of course, our wellness programs and other resources our members can find when logging into the HealthNet account. The health risk assessment, that's a great place to start. It's going to give you a snapshot of your health status in a lot of different areas, such as nutrition, exercise, emotional health, and even financial well-being. You can always use a coach too, because trying to change health habits or working on a health habit, it's difficult sometimes to do it alone. So you may want to use a health coach, get support with your family, friends, and the coach to help keep you motivated. Craving to Quit is our tobacco cessation program. It's designed to help users who are ready to quit permanently, break their addiction to tobacco. In California, there's also kickitcalifornia.org. It is a free program to help Californians kick smoking, vaping, and smokeless tobacco. Eat Right Now is a nutrition program focused on healthy eating habits rather than dieting. So things like triggers, cravings, healthy habits, and emotional eating are part of this program. We know life is stressful. So Unwinding by ShareCare is a program that helps with useful tools, videos, and modules that help you to build resistance and decrease chronic stress. Note, this program is open to everyone, both HealthNet and non-HealthNet members with the separate login. Oh, and HealthNet members, don't forget to take advantage of our discounts, things like Weight Watchers, chiropractic and acupuncture services, some extras like prescription sunglasses or computer glasses. They also have discounts to hearing aids and the screenings, and our fitness discount program called Active and Fit. That's $28 a month, gives you access to all the gyms in the network. There's no contract. You can change gyms as often as you want to. And we've got a variety of online health challenges, again, open to everyone. They're focused in on stress, steps, and sleep. Now, HealthNet members, in July, we have a specific one for you called the Green Day Challenge. That happens to be a 90-day challenge. That did already start, but it is not too late if you want to join with that one. Oh, and thank you so much for joining us today. Next month in July, creating a healthy home. Thank you again for your time today. Just as a reminder, everyone who registered for this webinar, whether you were able to attend or not, will receive a link to the recording in just a few days. Feel free to exit the webinar at this time.